Welcome to my tutorial for Kid Chameleon for the Sega Genesis. And for this tutorial, this is actually my casual speed run of the game, but this is going to also be the easiest way to beat the game. Not so much doing it quickly, but going to the second stage and using the warp, which will take you straight to the final boss. So this is just to show, if you're looking to just beat the game, you know, it's still legit. It would be like using warps in Super Mario Brothers or something like that. I would still consider it legit, but of course it is kind of a cheap way to beat the game. You're not really experiencing the full game. But, you know, fuck it. If you're going for the kill, it doesn't really matter. So, get this samurai costume. Make sure you get that. And, you know, take your time. If you want to take really long to get to the end of these easy stages, you can, you know, take as long as you want within the timer. So you don't have to rush through. I just ended up doing a casual speed run of it because, you know, it was so short anyway. I said, fuck it, I would just try to run through as fast as I can. And, you know, not die on the boss. So here you're going to do a large jump by holding the button down. And now hold down and right on the D-pad and press A, B, and C. And just keep pressing A, B, and C while you're holding down right on the D-pad. You may have to wiggle around a bit so you don't fall off that particular block. But if you do it right, you'll activate the warp to the final boss. It's kind of finicky. And it can crash the game, which happened to me multiple times and I had to restart the game. Luckily, it doesn't take long to get here, as you can see. So once you get here, all you got to do is jump up here, get this little costume, and now when you hold down, I believe it's the jump button or the attack button, one or the other, you will spin. I think you have to tap the button, but I set it to turbo, which meant I could float up even faster, which was nice. But use this little spinning feature here to get up here, and what you want to do is move around the boss in circles, either clockwise or counterclockwise. It doesn't really matter which direction, but you want to move around in a circle below the boss so that he comes down just a little bit. Wait for him to come down a little bit and then circle back around. Try to get maybe 2 to 4 bounces on his head. And as it gets close to the ceiling, you don't want to get crushed, so make sure you come back down. Don't get too greedy. If you get greedy, this is what happens. But, you know, I got in a lot of hits by this point. Now you want to move here immediately, jump and get this fly costume, which you see I got hit on like my last piece of health just as I got the fly costume, so it didn't count the damage against me, but I almost lost. So once you do that, if you go to the right side of the top of his head, he'll usually get stuck at some point, and you can just bounce continuously in that safe spot pretty much. And it's pretty safe with the fly because his hitbox is so small, you know, so you can just bounce there until the boss is dead and finish him off. It may take some attempts to get that right. What I recommend doing with all these games, especially with this, you know, make save states on an emulator. Make a save right in the area where you do the warp, because you want to practice doing that warp. You don't want to keep getting back there and then you can't warp. So make sure you practice doing that correctly. And once you've done that a few times and you got the general idea of how to do that, then make a save state on the boss and practice that for a while. That's where I spent most of my time, you know, failing and practicing the final boss. So practice that until you got it down good, so that when you get here, you don't have to keep getting back here again and again. Because you do have limited lives and continues, but you will get the start on the boss every time you die, but you won't start with your power-up, which you don't really need. You really only need to get the 2 costumes that I got, you know, in this little run. So you don't have to really worry about that. And you'll get to start at the boss until you waste all your lives and continue. So, you know, if you get there, you get a decent amount of tries at the boss, but it's not going to be that many tries if you didn't practice the boss with saves first. Because it took me a while to learn them and get down a good strat. But, you know, maybe after watching the video, you won't have to practice as much as I did, because it's really not too hard of a strategy to pull off. I tried a few different things. When I tried stabbing the boss with the sword, it didn't seem to damage him at all. I got a fuck ton of stabs on the boss, you know, but it didn't really seem to do anything. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm probably not going to review this game because this was my only experience with the game, and I can't really say I experienced the game properly. You know, I just wanted to get it on the kill list. I saw an easy opportunity to exploit it. If you go on GameFAQs.com, there is it's like a glitch you can do to give yourself infinite lives. You still have to play through and beat each level, but it's a semi-legit way to beat the game without really cheating. It's could be considered a cheat, but it's actually a glitch. So I would say, you know, you can kind of get a pass with glitches because it's not like you're putting in a cheat code. It's a little bit different. So I thought about maybe going through the game that way because I probably don't like this game that much, but it seems kind of decent. But I thought about maybe playing through all the stages legitimately, but, you know, using the infinite lives. I may try that if I go back to this one. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.